understand this discussion is a little unpleasant for you, but it is my duty to prepare you psychologically for all possible outcomes. Now, have you thought of what animal you'd like to be if you end up alone?
Yes, a lobster.
A lobster is an excellent choice.
It is nice that they never really get into why things are happening the way that they're happening.
Yeah, they don't focus on the totalitarian part. It's really just the hotel, and they go into the city a couple times.
Colin Farrell, who's David, he breaks up with his wife, or his wife breaks up with him. He has to go to a hotel, and he has 45 days to find a partner. If he doesn't find a partner, then he ends up getting turned into an animal of his choosing, which he chose to be the lobster. Nothing is really funny whenever you're reading it at all in the movie. On paper, it doesn't sound funny at all.
No, it's hardly even funny in the movie. It's hard to know when to laugh at that movie, because it's so deadpan.
The first English movie by Yorgos Lanthimos. If people have seen his movies, that's probably the best recommendation, because there really is no way to successfully recommend The Lobster, because there's no real hook that would get them in the way that a normal comedy would.
It's a black romantic comedy, which it melded well in The Lobster. You know, it was really hard because it was so deadpan. It was very vague, which all these are not bad things. If you didn't know what you were looking for, if I watched it with someone and I told them, oh yeah, this movie is incredibly disturbing, they probably wouldn't laugh one bit.
But in Dogtooth, it is kind of the same types of ideas. If you shelter someone enough, does that end up being worse for them than if they were exposed to everything? And it kind of takes that idea and it runs with it and goes to like its most obscene conclusion that you could go to. It's still able to be funny along the way, which this does the exact same thing. It just takes a completely outlandish idea that's completely impossible, but just says, let's just play it like it's completely real.
Why don't you become parrots too? And then we'll all be together.
You're a complete idiot. Picking one of the few animals that can talk when you have a speech impediment. You'll lisp, even as an animal. As for you, they'll catch you and put you in a pot of boiling water until you die. And then they'll crack open your claws with a tool, like pliers, and they'll suck out what little flesh you have with their mouths. You're pathetic, both of you.
But what did you think of it? Like, if you were not based on what people might respond to it, like, how would you recommend it to somebody?
I mean, it was confusing. Not the movie itself, but like how you feel afterwards. The first part of the movie is very funny. John C. Reilly is great, and Colin Farrell is a real knack for just looking like a loser. And he's just kind of pathetic, and he's smart, but it's very funny. Then the second half of the movie is very romantic. But then the ending, it's a definite recommendation, I would say.
I still feel like most people would be perfectly fine with it and kind of get what it's doing, because it is so unapologetic about how strange and weird it's being that you kind of just go with it.